My name is James Williams Jr. This is Kung Fu Hacker number 2. I want to talk to you about supernatural, Bigfoot, aliens, and government cover-ups. Hope you got all that. Let's begin. Alright, this is going to be one of the final videos for the day so I can start posting these damn things. I watch a lot of these Sasquatch theories, Sasquatch hypotheses, and all these other stuff that I'm going to be watching while these things are posting. And I want to talk to you guys about some stuff. Alright, first and foremost, when I was in the military, for my short stint that it was, I survived my infantry training. I have all that I will ever need from the Army except the job. We were taught down at Fort Benning, Georgia that we are ready for the zombie apocalypse. There's no mistaking that that could possibly happen, and with the folklore of The Walking Dead and Z Nation and stuff going on, and everybody being fans, because I'm a fan of both shows, I would love to be on at least one or both shows. No, even if it's just a cameo and I die, I'll gladly take the role and a check. Anyway, we who have been in the military can only tell you yay so much information. Alright? So I'm going to tell you this because this is all I know. The reason why a lot of things are not shared with the general public is because the most dangerous enemy within humanity is the general public. The fear of knowing too much, the fear of everyone trying to revolt or rebel against the government's warning or trying to keep everyone safe is the most dangerous thing ever. If the zombie apocalypse happened tomorrow, you do not know how many people would have no problem killing cops or servicemen just so that they could take over the world. You don't know how many people that would be. So instead of saving each other, they would just add to the chaos and the panic and the disorder. And then if there's a lawless land and there's no laws, people won't just be killing zombies. They'll be killing each other. And they'll be killing each other because there's no law. There's nobody to stop them from doing it. So not only do you have the threat of zombies and a plague that can turn us into them, you have the threat of normal people getting hold of some weapon of some form or another and just blowing everybody to smithereens. The fact that the government knows that the world's worst enemy in the world is the humans ourselves. Because some people don't want to follow the rules. Some people don't want to think. Did you think if a zombie apocalypse happens that there won't be any people from organizations like Black Lives Matter or the Klan or Unite the Right and all that stuff? They won't go on a fucking killing spree because there's no laws. No one can protect everyone at the same time. If the zombie apocalypse happens in America, how far before it spreads to other places before it's too damn late? You know, the thing with that is that no one would be able to stop it. We wouldn't be able to know what caused it because if we don't have a patient zero and we don't have doctors and scientists to figure out a cure, then we're all dead meat. So literally, so we don't divulge more than what we think the world can handle. And this is militarily all around the global scale. Every military keeps most things a secret from the general public for the simple fact that the general public, most of them outnumber some of the military forces. Now, I can't say that about the American military forces because most of our general public serve to find out if things like Area 51 exists and stuff like that. I do not know if Area 51 exists, but the Destination America channel has already broadcast plenty of shows from underground about Area 51 and people who work there coming out before they die and dying declarations and shit like that. Those things do happen. Alright? So understand that the reason way back when it was a hot air balloon was so that the general public wouldn't get ballistic and panic because aliens could be amongst us and we're afraid they're going to be like Invasion of the Body Snatchers and they're going to kill us all and all this other stereotypical stuff that science fiction writers have boosted in our heads that could happen. I'm not going to say it couldn't happen. Nothing is impossible. But our human genome of being unable to control our panic, because all it takes is for one person to panic, and if that person panics at the right place, all the people around that person will panic, and then you have a mob of people who are panicking and don't know why they're panicking, but they're all panicking, which a panic mob is problematic for everyone, right? So we do have means of handling a zombie apocalypse. First, we neutralize where it started from, and then we worry about the rest. And Predator isn't an airborne disease. And if it's an airborne disease, then we're probably all going to get it. You know? So, that being said, you have to be careful about that. And be careful what you eat, because everything's going to have to basically be burnt so that you don't zombie the fuck out at your dinner table. You know? And that's just the way it is. Now, as far as aliens, Bigfoot, and other supernatural creatures, these things, these myths and legends, are more up and down my alley, and up and down the people who have these shows like Sasquatch Hypotheses or Bigfoot Central or those other guys and Finding Bigfoot and Mountain Monsters. These things are kind of right up my alley, because everyone has heard many different legends which change tribally depending on where you are located in the world. The Nepal abominable snowman and the Yeti are one and the same, where the Bigfoot, the Sasquatch, the Yeti, the skink ape, all in America are basically the same, including the Wendigo, depending on what tribe you're in. And then you have the Wendigo and the Ringaroo and whatever the hell the other thing is, and you have the Pudwudgies. Yeah, you have all these other legends. And until we actually see them or prove that they don't exist, you know, these are the things that the government is worried about, having a mob mentality. This is why they also don't share. And if there's classified information on these things, they're not going to put it out there until there's a body. And if there is a body, the next step comes to, what do we do about it? Because I can tell you right now, if Bigfoot has been around for as long as the tribes say that they've been around, then they probably outnumber us. And they probably have survived for a reason. Now, I'm one of these people. I'm not I'm not a skeptic. I'm a believer. I also believe that some of these things are interdimensional, and that they pass through a cosmic veil that only special people can see. I'm not one of those special people, and God only knows I'm not going out to look for Bigfoot unless there's a check involved. You know, and some kind of insurance policy that if something happens to me, my family is compensated for the loss of me. But since I don't have any children, that means my big sister will get everything, because I'm not leaving it to anybody else but my big sister, because everybody else in my family is kind of greedy. So, therefore, now, with the other things that go along in life, we have to understand that if the government is letting people like me and these other Sasquatch channels and everybody else talk, then we're basically helping the government. And as I said in another video about that, 60% that don't believe, 39 or 45.6% that do, and that 7% that's undecided. You know, we're helping them out, because there's always going to be people who are curious. There's always going to be people who want to find out if this thing is out there. But those same people aren't thinking about the consequences. And there was a show on the Discovery Channel, Destination America, called Killing Bigfoot, where they got these hunters and these snipers and these ex-military people, and they're all out to hunt down this thing because it's been menacing to some poor little old white lady somewhere down the Okefenokee, or somewhere out in Tennessee, or somewhere out in West Virginia, or even further up north, or either further south. And these guys go all over the world trying to find and debunk or prove that this thing has been there and destroying stuff. Now here's my thing on that, because I just watched a movie called Bigfoot and the Burtons. It's a pretty good movie. You guys should check it out. I'm a strong believer in this. If the good Lord put those things here, He put them here for a reason. We should probably leave them the hell alone. I've written science fiction stories about the 13 colonies and how Bigfoot was blamed for their disappearance, but it was really aliens, and I got it somewhere in here. on a computer disk or somewhere out there on paper, and out there in my shed that you've seen in other videos with this blanket of snow falling. You know, we have to put things into perspective. Until we're proven that they are real or they are not real, you have to walk down that line. I walk down that line because I'm not one of the people who is not a believer. I've had supernatural experiences with ghosts. I've had supernatural experience with a wraith, and I've possibly seen a Bigfoot somewhere down in Buckingham. I'm not sure what the hell it was, but I know I've had these experiences. And as a child, I could control my dreams better than I could as an adult. So you have to think about these things. And why do the government continue to let things like this? Well, here's the thing. If you're not doing something that will undermine the government, freedom of speech is freedom of speech. And these shows can't really be shut down because your First Amendment rights protect them. But they can probably tell you that you might want to change your course. And, you know, if there's men in black, you know, and aliens and stuff among us, I'm really not trying to meet them, you know. And that's the thing. Most people who are trying to meet them, they meet them in the wrong way. And most people who aren't trying to meet them, we tend to stumble upon them. I ain't trying to do none of that shit. No, I just want to be left alone. I want to make my kung fu career happen, and that's pretty much my life right there. I want to make kung fu movies because it makes me happy. I'm not going out to Bigfoot. You got this thing that's like anywhere from 10 to 18 feet tall, anywhere from 400 pounds to 1 ton, and you want to go out there and poke it with a stick. Somebody didn't teach you right from wrong in school, did they? Because I'm going to tell you right now, if I'm walking out in the woods and I stumble into a Bigfoot nest where there's nothing but Bigfoot, I'm 5'3.5". There's no way in hell I'm going to go poking him with the stick. If he's sleeping, I'm getting the fuck out of there. Simple as that. I'm not going to bother him. I'm also not coming back. I'm not going to let anybody know that I've seen that sumbitch. I'm just going to keep walking. Now, other people will be like, yeah, you went trucking out there. Where was that at? Give me your coordinates. And if my dumb ass remembers the coordinates for one, if I give it to them and they go out and find it, and what if they find him and it kills them or they kill him? It's kind of going to be on me, you know. And then, like I said, tribally, depending on what tribe you talk to, for some Native Americans, they were guardians. For some Native Americans, they were menace. So again, there's two sides to every coin, and you have to weigh them. And once you can figure that out, you can get through. Now, as far as aliens and shit like that, I don't want to touch aliens because I don't want them sticking anything up my ass. I also don't want to leave Earth unless Earth is going to be blown the fuck up. And they take a few chosen people with me that I like and a few chosen people with me that we need so that we can survive. I know they see those damn lights. But if you're not going to do the logical thing, we need people who are smart. We need people who know how to garden. We need people who know how to cultivate animals. We need animals so that we can create them to live off of and stuff like that. And I don't want to be some aliens circus where they like, oh, here we have humans, and this is a black man, a white man, an Asian man, and a mixed man. And here we have a black woman, a white woman, an Asian woman, and a mixed woman. So we have those 4 human beings here on the planet, and none of them are biologically kin to each other, but we're keeping them on display here so that we can teach all the aliens about all the life in the universe. Now, I don't want to go through that shit. If I'm going to be in outer space, then I want to be like Corsair from the Starjammers, able to breathe in space because they did something to genetically modify my ass, and be a hero or space pirate. Either way, where as being a museum person, like Lobo and Superman was in that one episode, I don't want to do that shit. No. Because then, who doesn't want their freedom? Never again, if the Earth is going to explode, yeah, I guess I could be a museum piece, because I'll still be alive, but I'm going to get old and I'm going to die. So, that's not going to do any good. They won't find a way to keep us alive forever, because everything that is alive has to die at some point in some time. Dying in space, kind of thrilling, kind of not. It depends on how you look at it. If you're in a battle star and you're dying, yeah, that's probably not the best way to die. You die in space because you're sleeping and you're exploring space. Okay, cool. So I want to end you guys with that. I want you guys to think long and hard about why these channels exist. We exist because we have freedom of speech. We exist because we're complicating the mix. Alright? And by complicating the mix, damn it. When I say complicating the mix, it means like, alright, if there's enough people watching us, they're not watching what the government is doing. The government has us being watched by all the fans and all the people who are interested in all this stuff. They're not going to be wondering why certain military forces are out in certain places, in certain camouflage and certain gear, exploring these places to find these things. And there have been soldier stories on YouTube about soldiers who have stumbled into Bigfoot territory. So soldiers aren't really allowed to divulge anything that happens in the military, stays in the military. Once you get out, it's pretty much open field, but you have to be careful how you word shit. But for the most part, if you're going on with that, you want to be exceptionally careful to not say the wrong shit so that guys don't come knocking on your door, or you don't have a magical car wreck where you're bound to die, that kind of thing. So that being said, enjoy the video. I'm James Williams Jr., just come for number 2. I know they see those damn lights, but it's not working, so this video is over.